Namaskaram, every one of you, and I'm extremely sorry that I'm not able to be physically there, but my heart is very much with you. I have followed the Kashmir situation since mid-70s. Well, it's one atrocity after another, and I have also reasonably acquainted myself with the last 600 to 700 years of history, both the glorious aspects of it and the atrocious things that have happened. The genocide and pogroms are not just 3 decades old, been happening for 6 centuries. The demographic shift did not happen overnight. When that was happening, what should have been done, for whatever reasons, could not be done. I am not here to blame anyone, nor am I here to say anything insensitive to those of you who already have been peeled of your skin, that anything can hurt you. You're in that condition, I understand. My words are absolutely inadequate for the empathy that I feel. This was not just done, that is, the necessary things to shore up a society and to protect things that are valuable to us. The people, the rulers, those who were invested in knowledge and the sacred institutions could not act. This is a mistake that's happened right across Hindustan, and the brunt of it has been taken by the Kashmiri people, but it's happened all across this land. When you have something of value in your home, you need a lock. This is an aspect that we as Hindustan neglected. With the comfort of geographical protection of the mountains around us, we lived thinking nobody will ever come and touch us. We invested in subtler aspects of life, but those who did not understand such things and those who had their own cruel agendas took advantage of us completely. I'm saying in many ways, not to insult you please, this is a case of like spilt milk. Strengthening the spiritual backbone of Bharat, which is beyond religious divide, and of deep humanism, which is what this culture is about, and doing whatever else that can be done economically and in terms of restoring some parts of geography at least, without putting too many people back to risk once again, is an onerous task. Some efforts are going on. I can understand Dr. Surinder saying what he said, because what efforts are going on is not important, what results have happened is important. Results are not much. Though 370, repealing of 370 was a big step, still to manifest it on the ground, to make it socially safe for ordinary people to be on the street, has not happened yet. Well, the government is trying to encourage people to take jobs. Even the labor who is going from various different states to work there, their lives are not safe. But at the same time, when nearly 85 to 90% of the population gets involved in something of this nature, very hard for security forces to control this. This needs a political and military solution. Military is out there, nearly close to 500,000 soldiers out there for many years, but you know the kind of international campaigns and narratives that have been built around you, as you already mentioned. So one important thing that I feel is, we must take charge of the narrative. Well, in recent times, some cinema has been made and well, it has brought some light to people, the generation of people, the next generation beyond me, did not even know that something like this has happened, it's brought forth. But I feel still we have not taken the narrative in our hands. Our time has definitely come where our identities of geography and ethnicity need to be transcended but not lost. An identity with precious knowledge that we hold is the way forward, because with this identity and this capability, we can be who we are, wherever we are. I'm not trying to write off Kashmir, please do not misunderstand me. For me, these are not numbers. These are people like you and me. This may look very meager to many of you, but I am thinking of long-term well-being of your community. We need to capture the narrative. Many more things have to be done. I think capturing the narrative, how to do it, I'm saying all across country, you can demand with the central government as a tragedy that has unfolded in Kashmir, the injustice that has been done to the people, at least to acknowledge that. There must be in every city, at least every major city across the country, there must be a street named after Kashmir, a circle or a square named after Kashmir, or there must be a Kashyapa mountain or a peak. I know these are poor substitutes, but if we want the glorious and atrocious nature of Kashmiri history to be remembered, celebrated by all in Bharat, we need to create symbols. Because going back and taking that land straight away, let us be practical about this, because recently I was with someone from your community who holds a very eminent person, who holds a significant position. He was telling me, Sadhguru, once I retire, I'm going back to Srinagar. I said, please don't do that. Because especially someone of your stature, you should not do that, it'll be somebody's pleasure to do something terrible. So, we must understand that the essence of all this is, there is religious bigotry, and bigotry is written into the scriptures, and if we do not bring that narrative everywhere, if we do not say that it is this narrative that needs to change. Just changing one situation, trying to fix one situation is not going to work, because we must understand from Azerbaijan to right up to Cambodia, there was Hindustan. Now it shrunk to this size. And now Kashmir is a problem where they're trying to shrink it further. So this shrinkage didn't happen overnight. The demographic change did not happen overnight. The shift in demographics is the technology. Because there are people who are committed for 100, 200, 500 years. They don't mind if their intentions are fulfilled after 500 years. They are willing to work for it. That commitment creates many cruel situations, but generally, our communities are committed to bringing well-being to people who are living here, not sending them to heaven. So having said that, but if we want this, can everything be corrected? No. Can we bring back the lives, precious lives we've lost? Not at all. But even to get back the geographical entity is very difficult. This making Kashmir into a union territory, I think it's a positive step. Fortunately, even the Supreme Court has validated that as a law. And many historical blunders we have done. This is the important thing we need to understand. At a given time, what needs to be done, if we don't do it and we try to do it tomorrow, it will be late for us. Mistakes that have been done, we cannot fix the past. But how do we ensure there is a future? We cannot go on being soaked in the pain and suffering of our parents, but to establish a secure and a culturally rich and identity, enjoying the identity of who we are, the future of our children, this is very important. Because I am not saying you can forget this, I am not saying some philosophy, don't worry, tomorrow will be okay. I am not saying those things. All I am saying is, I'm not good at consoling people, but I've been thinking of solutions, I've spoken to various aspects of the government regarding this. But every solution that you think of, it is being beaten down by somebody because they have the narrative in the world. I think shifting the narrative is very important. I know I already mentioned one movie was made, but an hour and a half, two, whatever the length of the movie in a theater is one thing, that's fine. But I feel you need like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, like ad films, taking the sufferings of individual families and highlighting it and melt people's hearts across the world. This is very important. We have come to a place in technology and reach where we don't need a theater to spread the message. Just about in everybody's phone, everybody's computer, it can be there. I think focusing on shifting the narrative is very important if we want any solutions. I understand you mentioned a timeline, all of us who have seen this suffering, who are witnesses to this, in another 20-25 years we may not be there. I deeply feel for this, but changing the narrative and making Kashmir visible all over the country, at least in India. Everybody who lives in India must know that this has happened to our people. Without this, if it doesn't live in the minds and hearts of people, well, so many things have happened. Absolutely terrible things have happened in this country. It's all gone. It's simply gone, as if it did not happen. The millions who died of famines which were engineered, the millions who were slaughtered, millions who were poisoned, so many things have happened, and thousands of temples which were demolished, all this forgotten, all right? Because somebody has stolen the narrative. This is a time where we must get the narrative back to truth, we must get the narrative back to some sense of historical justice. We clearly understand we cannot get back everything, we cannot build back everything, we cannot be carrying grudge against people for what their forefathers did, but the narrative must be captured. Without the narrative, we will be a rootless and prideless community, which we must change. So about Kashmiris going back to their land, I know that's the dream, but every few weeks I'm seeing 2 dead, 5 dead. We don't want to see that. How to ensure this? Well, it is between military and politics, it needs to happen. Efforts are being made, but we feel the effort is not enough. So many soldiers have laid down their lives, but it's not been enough. One fortunate thing is, in our neighborhood there is chaos, so the amount of support that was coming from there will be receding in the coming years, definitely. That we must make use of and ensure the cross-border support that was happening should be arrested. In arresting this, the internal security could be largely secured. To what extent, we must see. It's very hard for any agency to catch all of them. Across the world, such movements have happened and they have gone on for decades and centuries, because this is a lesson the government of India and every state government in the country and above all the people of India, of this great nation Bharat, all of us must learn this, that if we do not attend to a problem in time, tomorrow could be too late. This is the condition where we are in. I know I have not provided any consolation, I am not using sympathetic words, but I'm telling you, my heart reverberates with empathy for every one of you. Your suffering is unparalleled in many ways in this country, but similar things have happened everywhere. At least you are at least speaking, others are not even speaking. So many things have happened. But the worst thing about you is it happened now, nearly in 21st century. As I said, I have no adequate words either to express my empathy, nor do I have a hotshot solution. I don't have either. I only have profound empathy for you.